dana da mind haja jama al buruj beto man gari ku furfur lo man de gari ni bada mi takum al buruj de kilo man kede man gari kara bal al belede kadini shab ni namul unity barana lo ni ta la ni shab ani bugul ga da ni salam mana kalam da ba mau ani ni shab ka jinub Sudan manu zuan dana ma jazin dana yaro bishu baden ma buzur gari damu asiya da fazur na pisara kalam da gabliya da kadini si ba jama'a people da ani na gare kilim yom be kalam da salam kirin limba da jama'a junubin belede de belet mishila nina de belet ganiyan ai haja kulu fipo to da kila malo da bata ta bam azara ya anda bligi haja ta bakulo maji fi bahar ta bligi haja ta bakulo.
Sounds of the week on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good afternoon. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The Kingdom of Netherlands Foreign Minister has announced that he intends to close the country's embassies in South Sudan and other countries, including in Libya, aimed at cutting costs abroad. Authorities in Lake State say 3 people lost their lives and 4 others were injured in a tragic car accident in Malau Pach, Payam of Chuaibet County on Saturday. And South Sudan's Vice President Taban Tenkai has proposed the use of a firing squad as a solution to rampant corruption, warning that continued mismanagement could lead to the collapse of key national institutions. This is stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. The Kingdom of Netherlands Foreign Minister has announced that he intends to close the country's embassies in South Sudan and other countries, including in Libya, aimed at cutting costs abroad. In his letter dated April 17, addressed to the President of the House of Representatives, Minister Caspar Velkamp cited high operating costs and security concerns as the main reasons for closing its mission in Juba. The embassy, opened shortly after South Sudan gained independence in 2011, has been a key player in supporting development, peace building and governance in the country. South Sudan is one of 7 confirmed locations where Dutch diplomatic missions will close. Others include embassies in Cuba, Libya and Myanmar, and consulates general in Antwerp, Belgium, and Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. The closures were confirmed in a letter from Dutch Foreign Minister Hanke Bruner-Slot to Parliament on April 17. The move is part of a 10% budget cut across the Dutch diplomatic service, about 70 million euros in total savings. The government described the decision as a response to an increasingly unstable global environment, saying it wants a more realistic foreign policy focused on national security, trade and migration. While acknowledging the closures are difficult, the foreign minister called them necessary. The Netherlands has been one of South Sudan's major development partners, supporting projects in education, water and food security, reproductive health and governance. The closure reflects a broader trend of shrinking Western diplomatic footprints in South Sudan. It follows recent temporary reductions at the U.S. Embassy and the temporary closure of Norwegian and German embassies in Juba. An eyewitness says 2 3-year-old children suffocated and died inside a broken-down car at the Dar el Salam residential area in Juba over the weekend. Hakim Bale Malis, the area chief of Dar el Salam, spoke with iRadio this morning, saying the children, identified as Daniel Khalil and Samuel Batali, accidentally locked themselves inside the car on Sunday morning. With the window shut, Bali said the children, both neighbors, were unable to get any fresh air or alert anyone to their plight. One child died immediately, while the other passed away shortly after being rushed to a health facility. According to Bali, the children went missing on Sunday, prompting the families to search for them at all the police stations, but their efforts went in vain. It wasn't until later in the afternoon that a relative found them in a car located about 100 meters from their homes. Bali described how the families realized the children were missing and searched across Juba.
يوم الأحد يوم 27 في أطفال بتاعنا هم 2 طلعوا من بيت الساعة 10 وناس بيت هم انفصلوا هم ما عارف يعملوا وين وبعد مجهود هم فتشوا في أقسام بوليس وما لا هم ما لقوا 2 هم كل أولاد واحد اسمه دانيال والثاني اسمه سامويل وهم جيرانات ياو الساعة 4 بقى واحد من بنين من أسرة البيت يلقوا أولاده في بيت الجيران يعني مسافة بتكون زي 100 متر كده في عربية معطل واقف عربية نمرة بتاعه 403 واي عربية ده مرسيدس رامبو كده فياو جلبوا يالله في عربية ده وطن ده ميل وطن ده كان في حالة بتاعت إقناع ياو جماعة قوم بدين طلع يالله قوم دي في يادا خاصني ماكس كيا ياو زمان ونص الناقو مليو كلا روح يالله طلع.
Police authorities are yet to issue a statement. Suffocation refers to the condition where a person inhales a vitiated atmosphere resulting in a reduction of environmental oxygen and a buildup of carbon dioxide leading to a rapid collapse and potential death. Authorities in Lake State say 3 people lost their lives and 4 others were injured in a tragic car accident in Malawapach, Payam of Choibet County on Sunday. The incident occurred when a Toyota Land Cruiser pickup carrying passengers overturned, leaving a trail of destruction. Overspeeding is suspected to have played a role in the crash. The incident took place near the village of Rortul Al-Hol, close to the Lake's Wara border. Lake State's Director of Traffic Police, Colonel Daniel Majuaj Mayek, confirmed that law enforcement officers had arrested the driver of the vehicle for questioning. According to Colonel Mayaj, the likely cause of the accident was a tire overheating, though further details were not provided. Colonel Mayek noted that the driver was speeding on the Raf Maram highway, which may have contributed to the vehicle overturning.
فعلا اصل امبارح كان امبارح بالليل يا سمينا كبر ده عربيه قام من جوبا مشى واو وكيد مشى وقاعد من ملون فيج عربيه ده مشى وقع بيانو ليستيك تاير منه لما وقع وقتل فيه 3 نفر و3 نفر ده هم ميتين و4 نفر معوقين ناس ديل شالهم ودهم في توي السواق والمساعد بتاعه قبضهم وجابهم في شويبات طبعا هم متاويق بسيط لكن هم محبوسين هم في السجن.
The survivors who sustained critical injuries were immediately rushed to Tonj Hospital in Warrap State for medical treatment. Fortunately, the driver and the conductor, who also suffered minor injuries, are reported to be in a stable condition. Colonel Mayaj is urging all drivers to exercise caution on the roads, especially on challenging and poorly maintained routes.
ما تمشي بسرعة غير هنا فايتو تمشي تسوق يعني عربية بسواقة معقول عشان لما تجري بسرعة يعني تا بدها الناس لأنه شارع ده فعلا ما حقق براك ده فيه ناس وبعدين فيها جدل بيحصل شارع برضو ما كويس شارع هسه نحن بنعرف كلنا متى لو نزل معنا شارع بكون كاب ده بخليك انت يا سوق تمشي براك يعني تشال ناس وروح بتاع ناس في يد بتاعك يعني انا بتكلم معكم كل ما يوميتو ما تمشي بسرعه ما ياو.
Authorities are continuing to investigate the circumstances surrounding the accident, and the community is reminded of the importance of responsible driving to avoid such preventable tragedies. This is Radio News. South Sudan's Vice President Taban Dengai has proposed the use of a firing squad as a solution to rampant corruption, warning that continued mismanagement could lead to the collapse of key national institutions. Speaking after the country's first ever National Trade Forum on Monday in Juba, the Vice President expressed deep frustration over unchecked corruption and power theft, especially within the Juba Electricity Distribution Company known as JEDCO. Deng revealed that the company is losing an estimated $8 million annually due to electricity theft facilitated in part by insiders within the system. Despite filing over 350 cases of electricity theft with the police, only 2 have reportedly made it to court. something he attributed to entrenched corruption within law enforcement and judiciary. He spoke yesterday in Juba.
Very interesting story. Are you aware Karam is a group for you are aware? Shooter Karam and National, few man is in the room. Don't you be able to bridge? Be able to bridge, then they give you a free car. You don't pay, it's an extra car, but you don't pay. There is 530 cases reported to the police. Ufina said the job market gives a nurse. Actually, 4 people, I tell you. 4 like this. 4 people. I have their names. 4 people, I tell you. الشركة شغالة في العالم بيقولوا قاعد في كل سنة بيخسروا 8 مليون دولار. They are losing 8 million dollars. And they want me, the المسؤول يتصل ثلاثة قالوا this issue if it is not resolved, the company is going to collapse and will close. 530 cases, only 2 cases have been tried. Sure. They want to corrupt them. How many cases not to be tried? Few are in. Few are committed. وبعد كده رابع أنا فجأته they are threatening the people. Behind us. I trust corruption will stop. Because there's a serious discussion coming, how will we stop corruption? How will we stop it? By the sword.
Last year, Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index scored South Sudan at 8 on a scale from 0, which is highly corrupt, to 100, which rates a country as very clean. South Sudan ranked 180th among the 180th country in the index, where the country ranked first is perceived to have the most honest public sector. Meanwhile, Vice President Taban Dengai has revealed that alleged criminals at an undisclosed location along the Nile River have seized a boat carrying fuel belonging to the Greater Pioneer Operating Company, or GPOC, for more than 6 months now. Taban, the head of infrastructure cluster, was stressing the need for the removal of illegal checkpoints along the vital route on Monday when he made the remarks at the first National Trade Forum 2025 in Juba. He stated that the criminals demanded a ransom of $15,000 for the release of the vessel, even after already receiving $10,000 earlier. The vessel, known as a steamer, was transporting supplies from Juba to an oil field in the Upper Nile region. He added that the army is now working to remove illegal checkpoints and stop the collection of multiple taxes along the Nile River route to Malakal. Taban emphasized that the river remains the only supply line for citizens in the area. He referenced the government's earlier efforts last year to crack down on illegal roadblocks on major highways to reduce excessive taxation and lower goods prices across the country.
في ريبر بيقول في كلام أنا وقال يابد وقال بسمع أخبار كويس قال جيش they are working عشان to clean الريبر عشان لا يكون في multiple taxation. The people who are depending on river, they are really suffering. And the people who are depending on river, I tell you, these are the people who are Upper Nile and the city of Juba. Because of the Mujrimin now, so the bar are productive. قالوا من حكومة. في بعضهم كبير قال لنا ماشي لمانع مانع port to be used by GPOC oil company for transportation. عشان يعملوا the docking رفاسات كبار يمشي يشيل هذا بتاع دريل عشان شغل يمشي بسرعة. هذا بقول لهم تعقوب تبديل فوق ده مسؤول يجينا 6 شهور في البحر. 6 شهور. They refuse to release it. ما تقول ما دفعوا لهم قروش. دفعوا لهم قروش. عشان يفكروا بقول ده. This morning هم قال الناس رقم خيالي جدا قال قروش دفعوا لهم شوية قال لي قروش ثاني. كم تقول بيرينه؟ لا they will pay $10,000. This morning هم قال $50,000.
Last week, the Chief of Defense Force of South Sudan People's Defense Force, First Lieutenant General Paul Nang Majok, ordered the immediate removal of all checkpoints along the White Nile River from Central Equatorial State up to Upper Nile. General Nang directed SSPDF Commander of Ground Forces Lieutenant General Taib Gadluak and Assistant Chief of Defense Force for Disarmament and Mobilization General Johnson Olinto promptly commenced the removal of all checkpoints along the Nile. The checkpoints removal will start from Juba County in Central Equatorial State all the way to Maracay County in Upper Nile, according to the order availed to the media by SSPDF spokesperson General Lulrai Kong. A researcher from the Danish Institute of International Studies found in 2021 publication that illegal checkpoint taxes in South Sudan were the most expensive in the world. Since independence in 2011, the number of checkpoints has nearly doubled and checkpoint taxes have increased by 300%. For 2 years, the study mapped 319 checkpoints along major trade routes in South Sudan, of which 257 are roadblocks and 66 river checkpoints. In December 2024, delegates to the 8th Governors Forum resolved numerous communiques, including calling on the national government to remove illegal roadblocks and ban illegal taxes to boost the economy. Before the international news, Upper Nile State Governor James Kongchol has suspended the SPLM-IO appointed Minister of Parliamentary and Legal Affairs. The order, effective Monday, seen by iRadio, Kech Nyoth Tiem, an appointee of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, was removed from his post without immediate explanation. His suspension comes just 1 week after Governor Kong suspended Ulang County Commissioner Riek Gadluak, an appointee of the Federal Democratic Party. In a related move in early April, Governor Kong also suspended the SPLM-nominated Commissioner of Nasir, James Gadluak Leo Tieb, who rejected the order, claiming it breached the peace deal. This is iRadio News, and now to the international scene, Helen Samuel.
Good afternoon, and here are some of the stories making headlines across the globe. Mark Carney's Liberal Party has won the Canadian election in a remarkable turnaround for the centre-left party. In his victory speech, Carney tells supporters President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never happen. It remains too close to call whether he will secure a majority in Parliament. If not, he will have to rely on other parties to govern. Defeated Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre loses his seat in his concession speech earlier and pledged to work with Carney to confront Trump. Elsewhere, a cardinal convicted of financial crimes by the Vatican has today said he will not take part in the sacred conclave to elect the new pope. Cardinal Giovanni Angelo Becciu, once one of the most powerful figures in the Vatican, was ordered by Pope Francis in 2020 to resign the rights and privileges of a cardinal after he became embroiled in a Vatican financial scandal. Following the Pope's death last week, Becciu launched an appeal in support of his right to be in the conclave, but on Tuesday he issued a statement announcing he was formally pulling out. Finally, a first-of-its-kind satellite is due for launch today to see through clouds and leafy canopies to assess how the world's rainforests are protecting the planet from climate change. The biomass satellite from the European Space Agency will weigh the Earth's forests, revealing how much planet-warming carbon is being stored within trees and therefore kept out of the atmosphere. Until now, the amount of carbon stored by the 1.5 trillion trees in the planet's rainforests has been impossible to calculate. Led by European aerospace group Airbus, the project hopes to help scientists more accurately model climate change and track rates of deforestation. Those are some of the stories making headlines across the globe. Back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Helen Samuel. And now to the international, rather to sports. And here is Emmanuel Joseph Akili.
Arsenal have ambitions that extend well beyond reaching the Champions League semi-finals, coach Mikel Arteta said on Monday ahead of the first leg of their last four tie against French champions Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal produced an inspired display to knock out holders and record 15 times winners Real Madrid in the quarter-finals 5-1 on aggregate. It will be Arsenal's third Champions League semi-final appearance and their first since they faced Manchester United in 2009. PSG traveled to London on the back of their first league defeat of the season when they were beaten 3-1 at home by Nice on Friday. Aston Villa have objected to Tottenham Hotspur's request to move their Premier League game in May to aid the London club's chances of possible success in Europe. Spurs are in the Europa League semi-finals, and should they reach the showpiece, they will be required to play in Bilbao on 21st May, just 3 days after their Villa Park meeting. In a statement released on Sunday, the club said, "We should like to inform supporters that we are in discussions with the Premier League regarding a change in date to our away Premier League match against Aston Villa, currently scheduled for Sunday, 18th May. And finally, Premier League bound Leeds United cruised to victory over playoff chasing Bristol City in front of a jubilant Elland Road. Tanaka and Wheely scored before Ramazani added 2 late goals to complete a resounding win. The Whites' promotion was confirmed last Monday, and fans who turned up in the mood for a party were treated to a dominant display, with Tanaka putting them in front with a composed finish from Solomon's deep cross. Needing wins from their final 2 games to confirm the title and reach 100 points, Leeds did not let up, and the 5th place visitors did well to stay in the game for as long as they did. That's all from the world of sport.
Thanks, Emmanuel Joseph Akile. This is iRadio News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. The Kingdom of Netherlands Foreign Minister has announced that it intends to close the country's embassies in South Sudan and other countries, including in Libya, aimed at cutting costs abroad. Authorities in Lake State say 3 people lost their lives and 4 others were injured in a tragic car accident in Malo Patch, Bayam of Choibet County on Sunday. And South Sudan's Vice President Taban Tengai has proposed the use of a firing squad as a solution to rampant corruption, warning that continued mismanagement could lead to the collapse of key national institutions. That's the end of iRadio News. If there is a story or an event you'd like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba. Like our Facebook page iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 1:30. I am Nasuba Memo. Thanks for listening.